any political party. We're not representing any candidate. What we're representing is the community. As a matter of fact, there were some politicians in our area who are trying to stop this meeting tonight. And I don't think that that's unfair to democracy. I think we in the United States, and the freedom of speech is the most important thing that we have. And to politicians to try to stop this forum, the first one of its kind in Jackson Heights, I think it's not fair. It's not fair to my effort. It's not fair to you, because you represent the community. And the reason why we're having this forum today is because I had a chance to participate in a citywide forum about the status of the Hispanic politics in New York. And I was amazed to see that the problems that we have here in Queens, they have it in the Bronx, they have it in uptown Manhattan, they have it in Brooklyn, they have it all over the place. So we are suffering for leadership, true Hispanic leadership in our communities. And I think it's time for us to come together as a group, because the machinery is always organized, but us as a community, we are not. And I commend all the politicians and all the leaders. They're always right. We're always right. By making us always right, we don't come together. And that's why we always divide as a community. So I think this series of forums that are going to happen through the city, it will be important to show that we are committed to our communities. We need to work in economic development. We're going through a very difficult times. We need to work for our children. We need to work for our elderly, for better living. There's a lot of needs. But I'm not here to give you a speech about in politics. I'm here to tell you why we had this meeting. I'm here to tell you that we all need to get engaged. We all need to be representing our community, representing our children, our parents. We need to really not talk, but we gotta act, and that's where we stand. And this meeting, it was helpful to have Citizens Alliance for Progress, this organization that I'm leading. We also had the help of Coppola, who participated in sponsor to the program, and we have Queens Latino, Javier Castaño, who's going to be our moderator for the event.
Future of the political power in Queens, everybody is just concerned about, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and we need to bring some people from outside, from inside, from the left and right, just to figure out what is going on. I know that this is going to be a discussion about the future of Queens, but I just want to mention a few moments in the history of Queens that led to this event. Few years after I came to this country, to Queens, that was 1986, Donald Manes was the president of the Queens County, and he killed himself. He killed himself because the district attorney found him doing something very wrong. So do not think that the problems start just with the Latino community at this moment. And then came the distribution of the political districts in the whole city. And that helped elect a lot of people, among them Nidia Velázquez, who was representing this area here. And that election of Nidia Velázquez as a congresswoman bring a lot of things to this community. I remember seeing new faces like Germán Vadillo start coming to this Ninfa Segarra, Mayor David Dinkins, Giuliani, and now Bloomberg. So things start coming together. I don't know how many of you remember who was the first Latino who tried to be elected in Queens. Probably every. No, in Queens, no, in Queens, no. It was a Puerto Rican called George Ortiz, and he was trying to get elected in 1986, around that time that we are talking about, with the help of two people who were supposed to be here. One is Nayib Berger and Aida Gonzalez. That was a difficult time. He couldn't even get the signatures approved. But that was the first person. Then came a lot of people that you already know. Then came the possibility to elect a Latino politician to the Council District 21. And it was like a small forum of people, candidates in Northern Boulevard in a Bolivian restaurant, and I was also the moderator. That was a small group of people. The only problem is that at that time, 7 candidates came out from the Latino community. So I said, wow, 7 candidates just for this position, that's interesting. But then somebody came along and said, I am also a candidate, and that was Iran Monserrate. And I wrote the first piece about his candidacy, and I called that piece, and he still remembered, El Intríngulis Político de Queens. And I said in that piece that he is going to defeat the others because he has the backing of a lot of people, and he chose to be more sophisticated. That was a long time ago, almost 15 years ago, around that time. So that's important to know. Then came Jose Peralta as an assemblyman, and then came Julissa Ferreras. This November 2nd, we are going to have another Latino candidate to be elected. It's Francisco Moya. So that's very interesting what is happening right here in Queens. But this is not Walt Disney. In other words, I can tell you how let's say Julissa talk about or used to talk about Moya and vice versa. So the problems are deep. And one thing that we have to do is to get together, is to all these kind of meetings and start talking about our future and not to get involved in more discussion and stupid things. Why? At this moment we have 2 political, and this is very important, we have 2 political elected officials who are Latinos. We, at this point, were supposed to have 3. And in the next week, we were supposed to have 4. That will be the right scenario, with 4 political electeds from our community. But that is not going to happen. Why? Because we keep fighting, we keep looking at the problems and not the future, and this is why this kind of forum is going to be really interesting. And my job is to introduce the panelists, and there is one person who we invited,